At Thanksgiving dinner, my uncle said real men don't cry. Then he laughed when I teared up talking about my late wife. So I asked him one question that made the whole table turn against him. 6 months. That's how long she'd been gone. Cancer took her in April, right when the tulips she planted started blooming. She never got to see them. I was sitting at my mother's table, surrounded by family, telling them about Lisa's pumpkin pie, how she made it from scratch every Thanksgiving, how she'd start the night before, roasting the pumpkin herself because she said canned stuff was cheating, how this was the first year without it. My voice cracked, my eyes watered. That's when Uncle Frank laughed, not a chuckle, a full, loud laugh that cut through the room. Oh, come on, you're gonna cry at the dinner table? Real men don't cry. He said it like he was proud, like he'd just taught everyone something important. My Aunt Sarah looked down at her plate. My cousins went silent. My mother opened her mouth to say something, then stopped. Nobody wanted to start a fight on Thanksgiving. Frank just sat there, chest puffed out. The ex-Marine who never let anyone forget his service. To him, emotions were weakness. I wiped my eyes, took a slow breath, felt something shift inside me. Frank, when's the last time one of your boys came to visit? His smile flickered. What? Your sons? When did you last see them in person? The table went completely still. Frank shifted in his seat. They're busy. Work. Families. You know how it is. Was it Christmas last year? Or has it been longer than that? He didn't answer. He didn't have to. Everyone at that table knew. His oldest son hadn't spoken to him in 4 years. Not since Frank told him that going to therapy made him soft. The middle one called maybe twice a year. Always short conversations. Always forced. The youngest moved to Seattle right after college and blamed work for never coming home, but everyone knew the real reason. Frank's jaw tightened. That's none of your business. You're right, I said calmly. But I'm curious. You've spent 30 years teaching them that real men don't show emotion, that crying makes you weak, that needing people means you failed somehow. I paused. So I'm wondering, did it work? Are they strong men now? Are they calling? Sarah's hands trembled slightly next to her wine glass. My cousin Michael stared at the table like he wanted to disappear into it. The only sound was the clock ticking in the hallway. Frank's face went red. You don't know what you're talking about. I do, actually. Lisa knew too. His eyes narrowed. Before she died, she told me something. She said the strongest thing I ever did was let her see me scared. I held her hand in that hospital room and I cried. I didn't pretend to be tough. I didn't act like everything was fine. I just sat with her and let myself feel it. I leaned forward slightly. She said it made her feel less alone, that watching me be human gave her permission to be scared too. And in her final weeks, we were closer than we'd ever been because I wasn't performing. I was just there. Frank scoffed. That's different. How? How is it different, Frank? She was dying. I was terrified. I cried every single night. Does that make me weak or does it make me someone who actually loved his wife? He had no answer. Because right now, I'm looking at a man who's so afraid of his own feelings that he mocks a widower at Thanksgiving dinner. And I'm wondering what that fear has cost you. My mother finally spoke up. Frank, that's enough. He's grieving. Frank pushed back from the table and stood up. I don't have to sit here and be lectured by someone half my age. You don't, I agreed. But before you leave, answer me one thing. He paused, hand on his jacket. When you're alone at night, when Sarah's asleep and it's just you and your thoughts, do you ever wonder why your sons don't call? Do you ever think maybe they learned from you that showing love is weakness? That needing your father means you failed? His hands were shaking now. You have no right. I have every right. I lost my wife, the woman I loved more than anything in this world. And you know what I have? Memories. Real ones. Of telling her I loved her every single day. Of crying with her. Of being completely present until the very end. I looked at him steadily. What do you have, Frank? Proof that you're tough? 3 sons who can't stand to be in the same room as you. An empty house every holiday. Sarah started crying softly. Michael finally looked up at his father. Something raw and unspoken passing between them. Frank grabbed his jacket and walked out. The door slammed behind him. Nobody went after him. 2 weeks later, I got a call from an unknown number. It was Frank's youngest son. I heard what happened at Thanksgiving. I wanted to say thank you. For what? For saying what we never could. What we've wanted to say for 20 years. Christmas came. Frank's house was quiet. Just him and Sarah. He refused to join the rest of us. Too proud. Too stubborn. Too afraid. My house was full. Loud. Messy. Michael brought his kids. Sarah came without Frank. We laughed. We cried when someone mentioned Lisa's pumpkin pie. And it was real.